And here's the part, y'all. So they had the head nurse come in. Head person was like, okay, mama, lay down, open wide, and I'm gonna check you when you have a contraction. I was like, okay. She checked me. She put her hands in. She goes, Mom's 9 centimeters. Y'all two just checked me, okay? Y'all two just checked me. I was 1 centimeter, then I probably 2. She just checked me in less than a minute, and I was 9 centimeters. She was like, oh, baby, bulging. Oh, I can feel the baby. All right, you guys get ready. We have a baby coming. And I was, when I tell you, it went from 0 to 100 real quick in that room. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this video about my birth story with my baby girl. I was been supposed to do this video, but coming home, basically a mom of two kids under 2. MJ does turn 3 in November, but currently we are 2 under 2. So I didn't really have the time trying to manage, and not just manage my home, but importantly do self-care for myself, because I went through it with this pregnancy. And all I can say before anything is that I thank God for a healthy baby girl. She is gorgeous. When she came out, I was like, is that my daughter? That's my baby. But yes, it was, because that's exactly what came out of me. So here we go. Anyways, as you guys probably may know, with my son, he was a premature baby, okay? I had him at 30 weeks, and basically, long story short, I was at a best friend's wedding, and I was just not feeling good. I was rubbing. People was like, you all right? I'm like, I'm good. I'm only 7 months. I ain't ready to go down. But then the pain started increasing. Long story short, about 10 o'clock, I was like, y'all, a contraction hit. I was like, something's wrong. This baby he coming out, because for it to be that painful, I'm not going to do another 10 weeks of that, and behold, I was in labor for 3 days. They were trying to stop me. I was in active labor. And he just wouldn't stop. So they just eventually let him come. And I had me a little bouncing 2 pound, 2 pounds, 3 ounces little boy. He stayed in the hospital for 62 days. And it was a very traumatizing thing for me. So I was expecting to have more kids. I really was not like, I'm going to have 1 kid and stop. Like, that's not for me. I want my kids to have siblings. And when that time came, I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to give it about 3 years. Like, probably when he's like 4, get some of the stuff with my business up and running. Because with his pregnancy, I worked my butt off. I worked like I wasn't pregnant, because I guess I just didn't understand what it meant to you when you pregnant. Your body is going through it. But I was like, I got money to make, baby. Especially when he come out. And I think that's what caused me to go into preterm labor. So this time around, I was like, when I get pregnant again, I want to sit down. I want to just sit down like a big old hippo. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to sit down, relax, eat what I want to eat, and go through all the pregnancy emotions that everybody else go through, because I feel like I was cheated 10 weeks, so I found out I was pregnant. I was shocked because it was 2 years earlier than usual, and I was like, not usual than what I planned, but we all know God planned. Our plan, 2 different plans, okay? Found out I was pregnant, long story short, God knew it is what it is, accept it, keep it moving, get ready for this baby. They didn't think I was gonna make it past 33 weeks. Okay, let alone 30 weeks. It was like, hey, if it happened before, it's gonna happen again. I had her. I made it. I made it to 39, and they had to take her out. So the whole pregnancy, the moment I found out I was pregnant, I think about the third, fourth month, my face got swollen, my hands were swollen, my feet was a little bit swollen, and my sister was like, be careful with preeclampsia. And I'm like, what is that? She was like, be careful what you eat. But you know, my little fat self, I was just eating, you know, whatever. So I was hoping she came out like 38 weeks, 37. But then I was like, okay, we'll do 38 the most. And every time I went to the doctor, they were like checking me. They're like, oh, mommy, she's high. You're not dilated. Mommy, she's high. You're not dilated. So by the time I hit like 38 weeks, I was like, man, I'm only 1 centimeter dilated. We about to drink some castor oil and get this thing moving, because I was just really tired. So the night before my 39-week checkup, I noticed that my blood pressure was kind of high. It was like in the 150s. And my feet were swollen, but I knew I was walking around getting the house situated. So I was like, I got an appointment in the morning, nothing big. They'll check it then, because every time I told them my blood pressure was high, by the time I got to the doctor, my blood pressure was normal. So I was like, okay, I ain't got time for these games. So when they came, they checked me. They're like, Mom, your blood pressure is kind of high. Let us, get some pee. So we could see if there's anything going on. So they came back, they're like, Mom, you got protein in your urine and this, that. The doctor came and she took my blood pressure. She's like, Mom, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get this baby out of you because you're walking preeclampsia. I'm like, boy, I just saw y'all last week. I was fine. And they was like, yeah, go straight to the hospital. So I was like, okay, got in the car. I did not go straight to the hospital because I had to go get MJ situated. But long story short, I got to the hospital about 12 o'clock, and blood pressure was high. They had me on a monitor running my blood pressure every 15 minutes, okay? And finally the doctor came and she was like, hey, Mom, just letting you know, I checked you. You're only like 1 centimeter dilated, but, we need to go ahead and induce labor. You're 39 weeks. It's time to get baby out because of what's going on. We want to make sure you're safe and she's safe. It's like, okay. So she said, your cervix is real soft. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is give you some medication. I think it's I don't remember the name really. So I'll give you some medication. It's gonna induce the labor, which causes the contractions to come, so your water could break, and then baby will be here by tonight. So I was like, by tonight, okay, all right. Call my sisters. I call Dad. Get off work. We about to have this baby. All this stuff, and So I was like, you know what? Okay, no problem. This is how we have to induce labor. Let's go ahead, do what's best for me and for my daughter. I think they gave me the medication about like 3 o'clock, okay? 3 o'clock. I'm in bed, relaxing, just chilling, waiting for a contraction. You're just here and there. It ain't nothing major. I'm like, this is coming. So the medicine was like real small, because it was like, it's very powerful. It was a real small. They gave it to me every hour. So long story short, okay, I had 8 rounds of the medication, which means 8 hours. They were just every hour, give me the medicine, give me the medicine, give me the medicine. Check me, I'm still 1 centimeter dilated. Like, how does that work? So they was like, Mom, we know we gave you a lot of drugs, all this other stuff. We're gonna go ahead and let you rest. Mind you, it's like 3 in the morning. We thought baby was gonna already be here. I told everybody, hey, baby's gonna be here tonight, all this other stuff. Boom, it's 3 o'clock. The baby not gonna be here. So Dad was like, oh man, this is gonna be like an MJ situation. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, she'll be here by in the morning by 6, 7 a.m. Long story short, she surely wasn't. So I hadn't ate. They wouldn't have I didn't eat before I went to the hospital. That's what, eat before you go. They would just give me literally ice chips from the time I got there to the next day. And I was like, I'm hungry. I don't know what's gonna happen on the table when I push, but I'm hungry. So I need to eat. And they was like, you cannot eat. The most they could give me was a popsicle, okay, and a one cracker. I wasn't supposed to eat that, but I snuck it. I had to eat, okay? So around like 3 o'clock, a doctor came in. She was like, Mom, I don't know what's going on. You had 8 rounds of that medication. It didn't do nothing. I'm like, yeah. So she's like, we're going to go ahead and do Pitocin. I'm like, Pitocin? No. Pitocin? I don't want Pitocin. I don't want Pitocin. I don't like pain. I can't tolerate pain. But I was like, you know what? At this point in time, get it out. Get her out to get to me going home because I started missing MJ. So she went ahead. She was like, but before we do that, I know you didn't eat. Thank you. Go ahead and eat. So I went ahead and ate me a foot long, okay, from Subway's. All right, I did. I tore it up with 2 chocolate chips cookies, okay? And I tore it up and I ate it. And then finally they were like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and give you the Pitocin. I was like, okay, fine. So I took the Pitocin. I'm scared because I'm like, I know Pitocin, like, bam, 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 the contractions. And I didn't want to do epidural, but then again, I don't got time to be rolling on these people's flow with these contractions. Like, if I can tell you what contraction feels like, there's no way to explain it. Just know when it hits, you think of absolutely nothing but why is this so painful? And the only way I can get through the contraction was to grip on the rail of the bed, and I gripped on it and I shaked it and I was like, those people was like, stay relaxed. I'm like, it hurts. I'm so dramatic. Like, I didn't notice I was so dramatic until I was giving birth to my daughter. And contractions is just, it's just another video, because them things are not regular. Like, they come to take you out, and after each contraction, you're so tired. Like, that's how much energy a contraction takes from you. You're tired. You're just like, the moment the contraction passed, I'll just be laying in the bed. I'll be like, and then I'll feel like, another one's coming. Another is coming. Anyways, let me stop being dramatic. Anywho, so I'm just sitting there chilling and relaxing, you know, or whatever. And here it is about like 7 o'clock. I was like, I gotta go pee. So I couldn't get up without assistance. So I had to call the nurses, because they had to unplug all the machines I was on. And I got up, and then bam, traction hit. What? Knocked me down. That thing knocked me down to my knees like I was gonna go into prayer. It knocked me down. So then I was like, oh, geez. Oh, I got the first one. I was like, okay, first one. You know, the next one probably come in 10 minutes. The first one. I took another step. Boom. Another one here. I'm like, wow, whoa. Is somebody mad at me? Like, what did I do? Okay. So I'm like, these contraction hits. So the nurse was like, yeah, Mom, you know, just take them. I'm like, don't tell me just take them. Matter of fact, don't have to talk to me. Just get me to the bathroom. Let me do what I gotta do. So I get in the bathroom and I'm peeing, and boom, another contraction hit. Now I'm like, no, baby. I better be at least 8 centimeters, because they hitting like this, like every minute. I don't even think it was a minute. It's probably like every 30, 45 seconds, it was just hitting. So I'm in the bathroom, and I'm like, yo, I gotta push. Oh, okay. I did have the Subway. Let me go ahead and let it out before I push. So someone was like, no. Don't do the bowel movement. And I'm like, but I feel like I got a bowel movement. So I'm getting up, and I'm like, I'm in pain. Like, geez, this is different. Like, it's not different, but it hurt. I told her, like, I think something's wrong. So I was like, I'm having the urge to push. So the nurse was like, Ma, it's just contraction. I'm like, listen to me. I know my body. I'm having the urge to push. Either I need to push a baby, or either I need to push out the Subways that I ate. So she was like, she was aggravated. You know, sometimes these nurses, they just don't like listen to you, and you have to be open, let them know that this is not your body, this is my body. And what I'm telling you is what we need to go ahead and do. So long story short, she left and she ain't never come back because they were doing a shift change. So she dumped me because she already see I was not on what she was on. So a nurse came in and she was like, "Hi, I'm your nurse." I said, "Listen, I have to get me a bucket, a pot, get me a napkin because I'm about to release." And she was like, "Release? You can no. If you," I said, "Yes, I got a bowel movement." So she was like, "Okay, lay down, let me check you." She looked, she like, "You're still 1 centimeter." I said, "Oh Lord." I said, "Okay, call them and tell them I need an epidural because this is what we not gonna do today." I just, them pains, I can no way I could have contractions less than 2 minutes apart, less than a minute apart, you know, and you telling me I'm 1 centimeter? Go ahead. If this is what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and get the epidural because I already said I don't got time to be on these people's floor. By that time, I probably should have family around me. Dad was there, but he knows when I'm where I'm at. Stay over there. Stay on your side of the room because I don't want to hear it. So, you know, them affirmations could have helped me. A doula could have helped me. Some, you know, but so another nurse came in because they heard me screaming, and she was like, "I'm gonna come ahead and I'm gonna help her." I was like, "Okay." So she was like, "Lay down, let me check. If you gotta push, that means there's a baby coming." I'm like, "Okay, whatever it is." But she was like, "You only 1 centimeter." So she checked me. She said, "Mama, you only 2 centimeters." I was like, "Get them in with the epidural. Get them in." She's like, "Did you ask for?" I said, "I've been asked for epidural. I need an epidural." So then I was like, I gotta push. And I started almost crying because do you know what it means to, you gotta push and nothing, you can't push? It's uncomfortable and it hurts. So she was like, "Okay, something must be wrong. Let me get the doctor come in." And here's the part, y'all. So they had the head nurse come in. Head person was like, "Okay, mama, lay down, you know, open wide, and I'm gonna check you when you have a contraction." I was like, "Okay." She checked me. She put her hands in. She goes, "Mom's 9 centimeters." Y'all two just checked me, okay? Y'all two just checked me. I was 1 centimeter, then I probably 2. She just checked me in less than a minute, and I was 9 centimeters. She was like, "Oh, baby, bulging. Oh, I can feel the baby. All right, you guys get ready. We have a baby coming." I was, when I tell you, it went from 0 to 100 real quick in that room. They started pulling out stuff. Nurses coming in, and I'm like, "What is this? What, how did this happen?" And I'm looking at her, she's like, "Yeah." She was like, "You're about 9 centimeters, but she's like, your water didn't break." And I was like, "My water didn't break." And I'm like, "What is going on?" I didn't understand nothing. And so she was like, "Okay, oh, but the baby is bulging." Something about a bulging bag. And long story short, I don't care. I was like, "Do what you gotta do. If I'm gonna have this baby, then I don't need the epidural." So then she was like, "I don't know, you know, your water still didn't break." And I was like, "You know what? At the point of time, I'm over it. Give me the epidural. Call the anesthesiologist, if I said that right. Get her in here. Get it done. Get it done. Let's go. I'm tired." So she was like, "Okay." They had her come in, took her about 15 minutes. These contractions hit in like 2 minutes apart. Let me tell you something. The nurse, you would have thought that was my man. I forgot. I done forgot Dad was there. I was like hugging her and I was like, "Please, these contractions." She was rubbing on me. I was rubbing on. I forgot anybody was there for me, okay? Dad was there. But baby, I didn't even use them. I didn't use them. I used the nurse, okay? And she was like, "Mama, come on." I was like, "I can't, it hurt. But finally they came in, y'all, and I know it was supposed to be natural, but I got the epidural. The moment they gave me the epidural, I was like, "Whew, thank you." I got my epidural. So she was like, "Mom, I'm gonna go ahead and break the water. Break your water." She broke my water. She was like, "Okay, do you gotta push?" And I was like, "We could try." And then so I'm trying to push, and I'm like, I'm not really, you know. She's like, the baby's there, but she's not coming down. She's still high. So I done had all these contractions. They broke the water, and my daughter is still high. I'm like, "Girl, you got to go. Come on now. You got to come out. Like, we ready for you. You ain't coming out to a bad family. You got a family that's ready to love you. Come on out. What is the issue?" So let me stop. So she was like, I'm gonna go do a C-section, I'm gonna come back. I'm like, okay. So, you know, I'm like, all right, my baby about to be here real soon, y'all. And boom, she comes back in an hour. No, she's like, if you have the urge to push, call us. So it's like within 45 minutes, I'm like, I'm feeling the push. I'm like, I got the push. So she was like, okay, go. Push it. She's like, she's not coming. Like, she's stuck. And I'm like, what do you mean my daughter's stuck? So she was like, she's not coming, you know? So she's like, all right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna sit you up, like just like this, and we're gonna sit you up for a few hours so she could drop. So 2 hours done passed, they come, ready to push. I'm like, okay. I'm trying to push, and she was like, she's still not coming. So I was like, Jesus Lord, what is the issue? So she was like, we're just gonna give it some more time. And I'm like, I'm uncomfortable. It got to the point that I got the epidural, but because of what was going on with her, I can slightly feel my contractions with every pressure, because she was really trying to come, but she was stuck. So I was still feeling the contractions. It just wasn't on 10. It was probably on like a 7 or 6, and it was more tolerable. So I'm like, bro, why I got the epidural if I'm still feeling this? So around like 5 o'clock, she come back and she's like, Ma, we keep turning you, but her heart rate is dropping. And she's like, let's try to push, because if her heart rate drops, she's like, it can drop, but it's coming back up. But what happens is once it drops, there's a chance it won't come back up. I was like, oh no, that's not gonna work for me. Not with my princess I carried for 9 months. So she was like, let's try it again. So they tried, and then her heart dropped. She's like, Mom, I'm telling you now, she's stuck. Baby is in distress. So she was like, we're gonna go ahead. We don't want to cause any more damage to her. She's in distress. We have to go ahead and do emergency C-section. Long story short, I didn't second guess it. I prayed about it, and I just like, let's go. So, you know, they started wrapping up. They got everything ready. And on top of that epidural, they had to give me something else. Let me tell you something. I didn't feel nothing from here down. I didn't feel absolutely nothing. I went in there. They were in the operating room, and I'm like, God, just help me, please. Please help me. Let me make this out. Let me make it out, because we hear stories all the time about C-sections and being left on a procedure, blood, and all this other stuff. And long story short, I was, you know, going through it, but thank God I did have Dad by my side, and we overcame, and I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, you know, at 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning, August 29th. And from there on, I was so drugged. I was so tired. I fought to stay awake, because I was like, I don't want to die. But the moment it was like, they got baby, I started dozing off.